Good afternoon, everybody. It's David Perlmutter from Quantum Listing. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for our webinar, Quantum Listing for SVN. We have hundreds of SVN advisors sharing their listings with us on Quantum Listing, and we want to make sure that they get everything out of it that they ought to be getting out of it. If you have questions during the presentation, please add them to the chat and we will get to them. And let's get started. So first, let's go over today's agenda. And today's agenda is as follows. We're going to have a quick overview of quantum listing and covering our different ways of collaborating, our on-demand marketing, leads, networking, and then we'll go to the website and have a look at all the things we've talked about and show you how to get the most out of our site. And then we will make time for questions and answers and tell you how to get in touch with us if you have questions afterward. So first, Quantum Listing gives your listings maximum exposure by offering a range of features so you can market your properties without breaking your budget. You can post an unlimited number of listings with the ability to market them seamlessly on all forms of popular social media. And even better, there's no paywall for potential buyers and tenants to view your properties on our site. Here's a sample of some of our collaboration and syndication partners. But before we do that, let me just give you one moment of why I started Quantum Listing. I've been a commercial real estate broker for over 30 years. And when I started, and there really weren't digital tools like Quantum Listing, and then eventually LoopNet came along, and it was great for a long time, and it's still a good site. And LoopNet and CoStar really created this real estate online commercial information market. But as time moved on, they got much more expensive, and they didn't have all the features that I particularly wanted to see. And so I set out to create the listing site that I thought would be better. So here we go. If you are an SVN member, there's a very good chance that you are syndicating your listings from Build Out to us, and we hope you do that. However, just sending your listings to us really doesn't help you get as much out of our site as possible. And why is that important to you? It's because if you do some of the things that we're talking about today, you're going to end up higher in Google searches. You can also market your listing more broadly to the members of Quantum Listing. And you can also blast out your emails, your listings to people either through us or use your own proprietary email list to send it out your profile with all your listings to everybody you want to, or individual listings. So we'll get to look at some of these things as we go through today's presentation. In addition to SVN, here are some of the other big companies that are on our site. We have also lots of small companies. We have all sorts of companies here on Quantum Listing. And one of the things that attracts people to our site is our on-demand advertising features. So what do we mean by on-demand advertising? On-demand advertising really allows you to choose when you want to advertise your listings and how much you want to spend on them. Our annual membership fee is really very inexpensive. It's $89.99 a year to take advantage of our features, but there are add-on things that you can do so that your listings get more exposure, both on our site and on the internet in general. You also can promote your brand on our site so that your marketing message shows up at the top of searches in your particular market. So keep moving. So here's an example of what it looks like if you are promoting your brand on our site. So this is a brand promotion advertisement that was done by Becca Carlson in the Illinois market. She, in addition to being a commercial real estate broker, is also a marketing professional, so she has a little bit of a leg up on many of us, but we are happy to work with you to create a message that best promotes either your personal brand or your company brand on our site. So that's first one here is the brand promotion. Then next to it is a listing promotion, also in this case by Becca. She decided to promote one of her listings so that when people search in that particular market in Illinois, her listing will always show up at the top of searches. Just like on Google, being on the first page of a search is a real advantage to you because people are more likely to click on things on the first page. I'm sure in your own web searching, you've often found that to be the case as well. Another fairly unique feature to Quantum Listing is our use of the Google Display Network. So Google has two primary types of advertising. There's Google search ads, which are when you type in a Google search query, you get a list of text responses. And you can see that some of them are marked ads. So those are Google search ads. Commercial real estate, being a rather expensive asset class, has a relatively high cost per click for those Google search ads. Depending on your market, it could be anywhere from a couple of dollars a click to over $20 a click. So rather than wring every last dollar out of your wallet, we explore the Google AdWords display network. And you get a lot more bang for your buck on the display network, we think. So Google display ads are the ads that you see when you're on websites that you normally are on. Could be a news site, it could be a blog. Anybody who's showing ads on their website, there's a 94% chance that those ads are Google display ads. And for you as an individual to add those advertisements yourself is very time intensive and laborious, and there's a fairly steep learning curve. But we've created a way for you to do it where it takes pretty much none of your time, and at least $25. You can spend more if you want. However, it's really at your discretion. The people who do these ads generally do them again and again, which tells me that they think they're very effective. And although I can't give you a precise number, I can give you a range of numbers. So for a $25 spend on our site, your ad will run for 4 or 5 days, and you'll get anywhere between, say, 15 and 25,000 views of your listing on the websites that your potential customers are normally searching. And from those 25,000 views rather, you're probably going to get about 25 views. And another reason to outsource this to us rather than do it to yourself is Google has various advertising guidelines. You can't have an exclamation point, for instance, in the headline of your ad. You can't reference, say you're advertising a Target anchored shopping center. You can't have Target be in the headline of your ad because your ad isn't going to Target's website, it's going to your listing. So little things like that that we can help you out with. Once you do decide to run one of these ads, it takes about 24 hours for Google to approve them, and you'll be able to see the analytics from the info section of the website, and those are updated once a day, and that's based on how often Google updates those ads. So Becca Carlson, who we've already given a shout out twice today, has also tried these Google display ads, and this is what Becca had to say about her experience with it. So while there has been a proliferation of listing sites over the last few years, I'm personally partial to a company called QuantumListing. In addition to absolutely loving their leadership, thank you, we love you too, Becca, and their platform, they have a Google ad integration that is staggering. It's literally a couple of clicks, crazy easy, and you can start an ad campaign for a property. I ran 2 of these last week and I could not believe the results. I did one for my property in Geneva and I spent the 25 bucks and it came in at like 36,000 views on Google and 17 click-throughs. So people use that to get to the site and learn about the property, and I actually had a showing yesterday from this, and that's the only way they could have found me. It was a residential broker out in Geneva. There's no way they could have found me otherwise. I was very excited, and I've done the Google ads before, and they're incredibly complex. Even as a marketer, I can't stand them. The fact that you've already set all this up is like the best thing in the whole wide world. So this is genius. Thank you. I've never had that much exposure from an ad, and I didn't have to learn Google ads in order to do it. So Becca, being a marketing professional, can really appreciate what it is that we've done here, and we hope that you'll give it a try, and you too will appreciate it, and like most of our users who do them again and again. So here, in fact, are real results. I'm not sure whose ad this was, but somebody who has run Google ads on our site a few times. So this first chart here shows the number of views that they've gotten for their ads. So this one here in February of this year was 22,500 views. They probably ran a couple of them in March, and it's 67,500 views approximately. In April, 30 something thousand views. Again, in May, they ran an ad 61,800, and I guess we took this probably in the beginning of June. So the screenshot. And the clicks, you can see that correspond with that. So there were a little over 20 clicks that first time, over 70 clicks the next time, when there were 35,000 views approximately. They got about 29 clicks. With the 61,800, they were up to about 70 clicks. So you can see you're getting a lot of traffic to your listing by doing these ads. And for those of us who have principals who are impatient to get their listing sold or leased, it's a great way to show them that you are making a real effort, you're being creative in terms of how you're reaching out to people, and you can show them real results from that. So I do encourage you to try them because they're really unique. In fact, since we started promoting this feature on our site, I can tell you that I've been getting, in my brokerage business, emails from LoopNet, and they're beginning to tout their Google stuff. And I can guarantee you that anything that you do on our site will cost you a lot less than it will on their site. And we think that you're going to see equal, if not better, results. So another thing that we do to help out our people, our members, is we really focus on search engine optimization. Again, showing up on the first page of those Google searches, the organic Google searches, is really important. It doesn't cost you or us anything when somebody clicks on an organic Google search. And when you do join, one of the things we really recommend that you do is enhance your profile, your Quantum Listing profile. What we mean by that is adding a profile picture, bio, if you have business social media links, add those, add your website. All those things are treated by search engines as content. And the more content and the better your content, the higher you're going to rank in search engine results. So you can see here we've got a couple of our members who we did searches on, and these are the results from the first page of Google searches. Showcase, I believe, is a CoStar property, but then right below that is their own website, and then us, and then LoopNet, Michael Hoffman, same thing. It goes to his website first, and then Quantum Listing, and then those other guys. And just so you don't think that those were entirely cherry-picked, here are a couple of other of our members. Orion Gums, who's a KW broker, showed up right there at the top, right below his LinkedIn profile. And Rick Recchio, a user of ours in Buffalo who has hundreds of listings, is right there at the top. So it does work to your advantage if you do the things that we recommend in terms of enhancing your profile. And it doesn't take a lot of time. We'll show you how to do that when we go to the website. What you're seeing right now is our listing lead capture form. When somebody goes to your listing, whether it's from a search on our site or whether they've done a search on Google or they're seeing your ad on a Google display ad on some random website, after 15 seconds, they get this pop-up, which you see on the left side of your screen. It is pre-populated with the address. They're encouraged to add their first name, last name, email, and phone. They can tell you a little bit more about what they're looking for in terms of the minimum and the maximum size of what they're looking for, and the asset type and transaction type. So if your Quantum Listing membership is current, you're going to get an email right away with that person's contact information. It's always great when you get that information right away because it's still fresh in potential leads' mind, and we really encourage you to do. If you let your Quantum Listing membership expire, you'll get an email saying that you have a lead and that you should renew so that you can get the lead. Occasionally we will send them those leads to you because we are softies and want to make sure that you get your deal, and we feel that if we do that gesture of good faith, hopefully you'll renew your membership. It's a $89.99 a year membership for unlimited listings, so it really is not too onerous to keep that current. Another thing that if you do have a current premium membership, we will offer to send your listing out to your local network. And when you join QuantumListing, we assign you to a network based on the geographic area where you operate. And you can join other networks as well, but typically you just want to be in your state network. If you operate in multiple states, all you need to do is contact us and say, please add me to this other state network, and we're always happy to do that. If you're here with us today, you know that we are big believers in webinars. They're a great way to not only talk about quantum listing and our features, we often have different guests, who, whether they're from other technology companies or experts in different aspects of commercial real estate. It's always great to have guests on too, so that we can help our community learn as much as possible. We've done things on 1031 exchanges. We've done things on due diligence. So really, great stuff. Marketing, social media. They're all the different areas where a lot of us don't have enough expertise, and we're really eager to learn. So, and if you have a topic that you'd like to see us cover, please do let us know. Weeks that we don't have webinars or guests scheduled, sometimes we'll do haves and wants 2.0 marketing sessions. We also do these with various state groups as well, and economic development agencies. And if you, especially pre-COVID, we were all brokers, often would go to these marketing sessions where dozens of people would be in a big conference room around a table, and they would take turns saying, I have a buyer who wants to spend X dollars on industrial or retail or office. Anybody got anything for that? Things like that. And then you could also say, I've got this fantastic warehouse with 24-foot ceilings, 60,000 square feet off a major highway exit ramp. Anybody have a buyer for that? So what we've done is we've replicated that online, and in some ways, although you don't get the glad handing and the free breakfast that you get at the in-person ones, you do have the advantage of being able to show everybody at the same time what it is that you are promoting. So, if it's on QuantumListing, we can go right to your profile and show that particular listing. We can go to your company website, although we do prefer to have your listings on QuantumListing. And you also save the travel time. So, and in today's world, you're more likely than not working from home, and you can still have the collegial atmosphere that you get from those sessions without having to put yourself at risk. One of the other things that we do for our members like you is we give them an opportunity to be featured in our blog. So each week on Mondays, we publish a new blog post, and occasionally we'll feature members of our quantum listing community. We give them a questionnaire, which we ask them to fill out. And if you're participating today, we certainly would be happy to do this with you. And it asks questions about your real estate practice, what types of technology you use, if how many listings you have, how do you get new business, things like that, and things that will really help your fellow brokers out there learn about the way that you do business, so maybe that they can learn a little bit more and apply what you do that works well for you to their own practice. So we're big believers that real estate is a very collegial business, and although we're competitive with each other, we also help each other out, because you need your fellow brokers on most of your transactions. It's nice when you have the customer end the listing, but we know that that doesn't always work that way. So, and also it's another great way for you to promote yourself in a nice way. And we get, you know, tens of thousands of people on our website every month, so there are a good number of people that are looking at our blog posts each week. When you do join Quantum Listing, we sign you up for Quantum Listing Academy. It's not, it's part of your membership, and it really is just a way for you to, in very bite-sized chunks, find out all about our website and how to get the most out of it. And we'll teach you one little thing at a time. It'll only take, you know, a few minutes, and therefore it really does not, you can get through these and move on very quickly. So, and then the pricing, as I mentioned, $89.99 for a year for unlimited listings, and that's per agent. If you're syndicating from build out, you probably don't need white glove membership, but if you do, it's $159.99 a year, and we'll add up to 20 of your listings for that and enhance your profile for you. And then listing promotion, which is having your listing show up at the top of searches in its market on our site. It's either $250 a week or $7.50 a month per listing. Brand promotion is $50 a month, $125 for 3 months, or $400 a year. And lead capture, which is from the landing page of our site, not from the pop-ups. The pop-ups are included with your membership. They're $10 a month, $24.99 for 3 months, or $79.99 a year. Online advertisement, that's the Google display ads. Those are $25 a listing. You can also do $50 or $100 at a time per listing. The only difference between the dollar amounts are the number of days that that ad will run. The more days it runs, the more views, the more clicks that you'll end up getting. Lead capture on your listings, as we said before, included with your membership, and the email blasts, like you saw with the network, also included with your premium membership. All right, so rather than, we'll come back to the support and contact info, but let's take a look over at the website right now. So what you're looking at now is my Perlmutter Properties, which is my brokerage business, profile page on Quantum Listing. So if you wanted to enhance your profile, you would just click on the pencil and paper icon up here to the, and when you do that, click edit, click on the little camera here to add your profile picture or logo, and you can add both a profile picture and a logo if you choose. Then other things that you should add are any of your business social media. Some states require you to add your brokerage license number to sites like ours, so you should do that as well. And as far as LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or Google Currents, you just go to that site, you click on the URL and copy it and paste it here. For LinkedIn, just make sure that once you've gone to LinkedIn and you're looking at your profile page, you click on your username at the top left, and that will generate the right link in the URL for you to paste here with us. You can see I added a bio here as well, and that is really what it means to have a enhanced profile. And it doesn't look like much, and it doesn't take a lot of time, but it is so important because that is the protein and vegetables that Google thrives on and nourishes Google, and will in turn have your profile show up on Google searches, your listings show up on Google searches, more than half of our traffic uh, each day comes from searches. 95% of them are probably Google. You do get Bing, you get Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, the occasional Baidu. Um, but it really is amazing how dominant Google is in this, and you really owe it to yourself to put yourself in the best position to do that. If you wanted to, well, let's go to our first page of listings now, and I want to show you some things. First of all, if you are syndicating from build out, make sure that when you are still on build out, you're checking the boxes next to the images in each listing, because that says you have the rights to the images, because if you don't check that box, then you end up with the QuantumListing logo instead of the featured picture of your listing. I think that more people will click on a listing with a picture than not. It's more, I don't have specific data on that, but it really, people are magpies. They click on the bright, shiny things. So please make sure that you do check that the box is checked, or you can just come to QuantumListing and see if they're here. Yeah, and if you're syndicating to multiple listing sites, if they're not showing up on our site, they're not showing up on any of those other sites. So you really owe it to yourself and to your customers whose listings they are to make sure that everything is the way it really ought to be with those pictures shown. This, as you could see while we were on this listing, uh, we had the listing pop up, the lead pop up. If people don't wait the 15 seconds, but they want to contact you, they can click the contact the agent button here, and the same form pops up. So they have different ways to do that. You can also contact people by clicking on their email address or phone number, go to their website. You can see here that this guy his account has expired. So what that means is his premium membership has expired. He's syndicating to us through build out, and because build out users generally are very good at updating their listings, we still show those listings, and if somebody wants to contact him by his email or phone, they can do that. If he gets somebody filling out the pop-up, uh, then that won't show up in his email the way it would if he had stayed a current member. Uh, you can also go to your profile page, and in the info section, there's a lead section. So if you're a current member, you'll see uh, all those leads that you've generated there as well. And we can actually, let's go back one moment. So you can see this is a listing that he just added today. It has 26 views already. When you're looking at other people's listings on our site and you want to know whether that listing is fresh or potentially stale, there's this listing was updated online right here at the top. So if it's a listing that was added 2 years ago, you're going to make a point of calling that agent and making sure that information is still fresh, that listing's still available, uh, instead of just relying on putting it and putting in a survey, because you don't want to give something to your customer that is no longer available. So we wanted to make it nice and easy for you to have a good indication of whether or not it was still available. Other things that we can look at on the listing here that are important: if a customer doesn't see what they're looking for in this particular listing, they can click on search other listings in that particular market. Edgefield, South Carolina, this is apparently the only listing we have, but we'll go back to my profile page. And so you'll see here that there are 3 brokers here. So if you're a enterprise account owner and you have multiple agents, it doesn't work this way with build out, but if you're adding listings manually, which my company does, you can add multiple agents to an individual listing. So this is a for sale listing. It's a restaurant. It's a beautiful, beautiful old church that has been converted into a restaurant, and a really dramatic space inside. And let me show you some of the things that you can do with this. So this red dot here is the sharing icon. So you can email this listing, and you can add it, send it to 1 or 2 people if you want by just typing in there. But you can also send it to your own proprietary email list that's in an Excel file or a CSV file, and have it go out to hundreds of people. And all you need to do in this case is add a subject line and a short message. About 250 characters is the limit to the message, and they'll get, and then hit send, and they'll get an email that looks something like this. It's not, it's a little faded out now because it's a work in progress in terms of being an email that is being worked on. However, when you do send it, they'll get this nice looking email. It's got your contact info, it's got the basic information, and a link to your listing on our site. And if any of you have used MailChimp or Constant Contact or Robly, any of the great email services out there, you're using that same proprietary email list that you can use here on our site. However, you don't have to do any formatting. You don't have to do any artwork. QuantumListing will take the information you've already input, whether it's directly on our site or via build out, and all you do is add the people you want to send it to and hit send. So it's included with your membership and doesn't really take any time to do it if you already have that list put together. So a great way to take advantage of another one of our features. As you're going through our site and you see listings that you want to actually, let's stick with the sharing icon for a moment, sorry. So as email, you can also share your listings on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter with a click of a button. And if you want to advertise the listing on the display network, you just click that button right there. I'll give you an example of sharing on LinkedIn. So I clicked that. It has this great big picture. Here, wait, what did I do? I inadvertently click something. All right, so I'm going to share it in a post, and I'll just write something really quick. Northern Westchester restaurant for sale. Contact. All right, ordinarily I'd write something a little better. LinkedIn has these great hashtags that you can add as well, and then you click post, so you can really put it on your LinkedIn or any of your other social media super fast. Let's have a look at what it looks like. So this is what we just did, and it looks pretty good and didn't take any time. And if I click on it, it brings me to the profile, to the listing rather, on QuantumListing, so that they can get additional information on that listing. over here, by the way, are some kind of neat things that we've added for your benefit. Demographic data, it's a link to the US Census Bureau data, so it's completely free. LandChecks is a really cool new partner of ours, and if you go to the LandChecks site, you will, if you click on that button, it'll redirect you to LandChecks. The address of the listing you clicked on is pre-populated, and you can see tons of different information on things that might affect the property value. So whether there's cell towers nearby, if there are EPA sites, HUD homes, mines, if it's in an opportunity zone, or there are whether the pipelines going through it. So all sorts of great information. And at the current moment, it is free. I believe in the not too distant future, there will be a nominal cost for that. But again, you get to choose if you want to get that data and if you want to pay for it. You can print out a PDF with the information that you've gotten from that. So it's super helpful. And, you can probably find out more about the site that you're looking at than the owner is likely to know, and you can give that to them either by email or printing it out and handing them at your next meeting. And the other button down here is StackSource, which is an online financing portal. And the StackSource button shows up on for sale listings or for sale and lease listings, not for lease listings because it's not really relevant there. And then you can put in the parameters of your deal and the financing you want and hit enter, and they will in turn share it to their network of lenders to see if any of them are interested in financing the property for you. So really great resource there for you. So other buttons on listing. This is an iframe. So iframes allow you to, without being a computer coder, to share your listing to your blog or to your website. If you're a build-out user, they're already powering your website, so you may not need that. You can make a private note on any listing by clicking this pencil icon here, and it is private, so only you get to see it. The listing broker does not see this, so you can say whatever it is that you want there, and you'll find that on your profile in the info section. You can create listing reports if you're doing surveys for a customer, so you can add that to a listing report. You can, if the broker has not uploaded a flyer, QuantumListing will create a flyer based on the information that they have added. And if the broker has uploaded a flyer, you can click on that and either email it or download it as well. And you can add multiple PDFs to your listing also. So I had a broker today put his teaser flyer for his for sale listing plus a confidentiality agreement on the site. So if you fill out the confidentiality agreement, send it off to the broker, he'll then send you the full offering memorandum. So there's lots of things that you can do with that. You can also add links to YouTube or Vimeo videos to your listing. And in the COVID world where you're doing fewer in-person showings and people are doing more virtual tours, that's a great resource for them as well. As you're going through the website, you'll see at the top of each listing a little ribbon, and if you click on the ribbon, it turns green, and once it turns green, you know that you'll be able to, here, I'll make it a little bigger. You can find that in your saved listings back on your profile page. You can also export any listings to PDF for your future reference, or add it to a listing report from here as well. Let's go back to my profile page and we'll run through some of the other features there. I just want to check, maybe I'll pause for a sip of water, and if you have any questions you'd like to ask right now, please do so. You can add it to the chat. Sorry. Okay, so on this left-hand sidebar, in addition to adding your listings, say you're a tenant rep, you don't have listings, but you do have customers, and customers have wants. So with we've added the ability for you to add your CRE wants to QuantumListing as well. So here I've added some of the things that I'm looking for various customers of mine. When you do add the CRE wants, they'll show up in that feed, and they'll also be available in searches. So great way to crowdsource your search for your customer, and hopefully that will save you time. Enterprise, we're going to skip for now because it's not particularly applicable to build out customers, which most of you wonderful SVN people are. Networks and groups, though, are great resources for you. As I mentioned earlier, we add you to a network when you join QuantumListing based on your geography. If you have listings, we'll put you in networks wherever your listings are. If you don't have listings, then we add you to a network based on where your phone number is. A lot of people now have cell phones only, and if they move to a new area, they don't necessarily change the area code. So if we get it wrong, just you can go to My Networks and then ask to join another network, and then when the network admin sees it, they'll admit you to the network. And when here, let's go to one of my networks. So here's the New York network, and you'll see all the latest listings in your network. The ones at the top are the newest ones. You can also sort them by size of the space or price as well. You can filter them by transaction type. You can filter them by asset type. You can look for a particular city in your network. I will say that once in a while you do have listings from other states within your network. That's because if somebody comes into your network from another state, when they do enter your network, they bring them with you. But if you only want to see the people from your specific state, you can just filter it by state like that. So there was okay. So that I think covers that aspect of networks. Oh no, one more thing. Sorry, you can also search the different people in your network, and when you see somebody whose listings you want to see, you click on them. And so say James Kaczmarek is a great business broker from upstate New York. If I want to be able to quickly access his listings in the future, I can follow him, and then I'll be able to see that from my profile page in the future, and I'll show you where we'll see that as well. So that's one of the social aspects of QuantumListing. So, and also one other thing in networks, in addition to being able to see the members and the listings, you can see what the most recent changes were. So in this case, Richard Kerbin edited a listing. I can click on listing was edited to find out which listing it was, so I can see what happened. And here's an example of somebody who's in the New York in a, oh, yep, he's in the New York network, but he's a Florida broker, and he requested to be in the New York network. So that's why that happened there. Then after networks, we have groups. Groups are similar to networks, a little more self-service. You can not only join groups all by yourself, you can start groups. And when you start a group, you can make it public or private so other people can see what is going on in your group. And you can also send chat messages through our system. And you'll know that you have a chat message if this little chat icon here is lit up green. You'll also, anytime you get a notification on our site and you're not on the site at the time, when you come back to the site, this little bell here will have a little red dot on it with a number of notifications that you have. So we make it easy for you to know. And you'll get a digest at the end of the day with saying that you have some notifications. You can also see the group members and the group listings in your groups as well. Let's actually show you one of the things that you can do with chats, and this is another great way to take advantage of our chat feature combined with your group to market your listings, is that you can add a message here and add the hyperlink to your listing. So if you want to let your group know about your great new $20 million office building that you have for sale, you write your marketing message about that listing, add the link to it. They're going to get an email saying that there's a new message waiting for them on QuantumListing. So you get, some of the groups have hundreds and hundreds of people in them. So without doing a lot of work and putting together a big list, you can reach those people as well. Social, that's where you're going to find the people who you are following and who are following you. And the stream has the listings of the people that you're following. The info section is super important as well. That's where you're going to see analytics on your listings. And here you can see the number of views over all time for your listing, or a week, or a month. You can drill down. The default is to show the aggregate of all the listings over all time, but you can drill down to an individual listing. And so this is, as you can see, a newer listing of mine. And this one has gotten 484 views. And you can download the stats as well. Promoted listings are the listings that you're promoting on our site. You can see the number of views and clicks, and either in the aggregate or by specific listing. And I know a lot of brokers need to do monthly reports for their clients. So if you see that the number of views and clicks and the action on it isn't what you want, you might want to promote your listing, $2.50 for a week or $7.50 a month. So a very affordable solution and a good way to generate more interest. Promoted banners, it's for your brand promotion, or whether it's your personal brand or your company brand. Online advertisement is the Google Display Network ads we talked about. You can see in July I ran a bunch of them, probably 4 ads, and got close to 130,000 views. And how many clicks did I get in July? In July, I got 36 clicks. June, I had 59 clicks, and how many views? In June was 64,000 plus views. Didn't run any in August. September, I ran a couple of ads, 48,000. And so, you can see it really does get you traction in the market. account views, the number of views, your profiles, agents. If you have an enterprise account with various agents, you can see how many views they're getting, and you can drill down by a particular agent. You can see if people are sharing your profile, either by email or social media. Same with listings, and PDF exports and downloads are either the PDFs that we're creating for you based on the information you've added, or the PDFs that you've uploaded to your listing. And then, of course, leads, the all-important leads. You can have a record of the number over time that you've gotten there as well. If you want to see the actual leads, go back to the info section and click on where it says leads. So after time I delete my leads, but you get to see the source of the lead, and if there's additional information about it, when the lead was from, things like that. So notes, those are the private notes that you add to your listings, and you can edit them, you can delete them, and again, they're just for your eyes only. Orders is going to show you your history of the different things that you've done on our site in terms of adding listing promotion, online ads, or brand promotion, or whatever it is that you're choosing to do that is extra. All right, so it's now 4 o'clock, and I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I do want to thank you so much for giving us some of your time today, and we are very grateful for that. And I want to thank Julia from our team who helped us prepare today and got the word out. And I'm going to pause the recording now. And so if you do want to get in touch with us in the future, you can email us at support@QuantumListing or call us at 844-QL1-LIST. There's also a button in the bottom right corner of almost every page on our website. That's the intercom button. You can chat with us through that. Schedule a demo with that button at the top right of the website. And then, of course, if you just want to see how to do things yourself, you're confident about your computer skills, etc., go to our How It Works section, and there's an article about just about every single one of our features there. So it's a great resource for you. So again, thank you for your time, and we hope to see you soon on a future webinar.